National Merit Scholarship. Let's walk through the National Merit Scholarship selection process using the class of 2026 as an example. First, the SAT/NMSQT happens in October of junior year. High schools choose whether to offer it during the October 1st to 31st window. About 1.3 million students test, and scores are released in December. National Merit uses a selection index, reading and writing times 2 plus math, divided by 10, to determine recognition. Next, in September of senior year, National Merit announces about 16,000 semifinalists, roughly the top 1% by state, so cutoffs vary. Another 34,000 students are named commended with a national cutoff of 210. Semifinalists are notified through schools, and the list is shared with media and colleges. By early October, for 2026 it was October 8, semifinalists complete the online scholarship application, report activities and coursework, list a parent's employer for corporate awards, indicate a first-choice college for college-sponsored awards, and submit an official SAT or ACT score. For 2026, the last accepted tests were the December 6th Saturday or the December 13th ACT. In February, about 95% of semifinalists, around 15,000 students, advanced to finalist. From April through July, about half of all finalists, around 6,930, are named National Merit Scholars. They receive one of 3 awards. First, 2,500 National Merit Scholarships, each worth $2,500, announced in March. Second, about 830 corporate-sponsored scholarships, also announced in March. And third, roughly 3,600 college-sponsored scholarships, typically announced in May. Next, let's focus on the highlights of this process. In September, the National Merit Scholarship Corporation announces the semifinalists for the class of 2026. This year, more than 16,000 high school seniors were recognized, representing the top 1% of PSAT scorers nationwide. These academically talented students now have the opportunity to compete for nearly 6,930 National Merit Scholarships, with a combined value of about $26 million. Semi-finalists must advance to finalist status by fulfilling several requirements, including submitting an official SAT or ACT score, completing the online scholarship application, and meeting their state's cutoff standard. Here are the state-by-state cutoffs for the class of 2026 National Merit Scholarship Program, based on the 2024 PSAT. Each state has its own qualifying score for semifinalists, representing roughly the top 1% of test takers in that state. For example, this year's cutoffs range from 210 in states like West Virginia and Wyoming up to 225 in places such as Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C. The table also shows the number of semifinalists, commended students, and the number of schools reporting scores for each state. In total, there were about 17,000 semifinalists and over 41,000 commended students. These cutoffs are a key milestone because they determine which students advance in the national merit competition. This slide shows an example of the 2026 National Merit semifinalists listing, using Minnesota as an example. Each year, National Merit publishes the names of more than 16,000 semifinalists across the country. These names are grouped by state, then by city and high school. Here, you can see how semifinalists are listed, starting with the school name, followed by the students' names. These listings are provided to local media, schools, and colleges, and serve as the official recognition for students who have reached semifinalist status. Over 170 colleges and universities across the country sponsor National Merit Scholarships. These institutions provide financial awards to students who are recognized as National Merit Scholars and have named their school as their first-choice college. These sponsorships give students additional opportunities to fund their education and celebrate their achievement as National Merit Scholars.